Hoping I'm not the only one here, but I stepped outside this afternoon briefly, and I audibly groaned when I felt how muggy it was all of a sudden again. I was like, oh, really?
I'm soaking up every last bit of it.
I think we had enough of a cool scare that there'll be some appetite for this humidity, I think, because it is only early September, so like usually we get a little bit more of that. You're going to be more like that tomorrow, Brian. I tell you, it's more sticky even through Saturday. We'll talk about what that's going to lead to in a second. Visible satellite picture showing us who cleared out, who didn't. Good part of the state did clear out, but we struggled over the mid-coast and down East Maine as we anticipated might be the case. The rest of us a nice late afternoon, early evening, sun setting around 7:10-ish, a little bit earlier actually, over northern Maine at least. So the rest of tonight, what we're going to be looking for is just those high dew points. So that keeps temperatures up into the mid-60s in a lot of cases, one of the warmer nights we've had in a while. And that's where we start the day tomorrow, partly cloudy, still mild, still sticky, and we're quickly into the upper 70s and some low 80s by tomorrow mid to late morning. And I actually think this model may be undercutting the temperatures, especially along the coast. I think it's in play that we could get to 83, 84 degrees if we can get enough sunshine, and that's a humid 83, 84. So through the 11 a.m. midday, nothing really going on, just a nice summery day. But by 1 o'clock, we start to develop some thunderstorms in the mountains. Between 1 and 3, we see a big escalation in the amount of these showers and storms, and they start to move downhill just a bit. For a lot of us here inland in the coast, we're talking about between 4 and 8 p.m. These showers and storms kind of turn into a stronger line and move to the coastline. And it's worth noting that oftentimes thunderstorms die out before they get to the immediate coast. I don't think that's the case tomorrow. So this line of showers and storms drives right to the coast, again, between 4 and 8. This is 6 o'clock. And it keeps lingering along the coast around 7 until about 8, and then things settle down after. And not only is there a heavy downpour risk, there's also a severe weather risk here. Storm Prediction Center has placed us in a level 1 green and then level 2 risk, which level 2 actually for northern New England is a pretty decent threat level for us. We don't really deal with 4s and 5s here. That's kind of middle of the country plains type risk. Main threats are strong straight line winds as well as an isolated tornado. And the tornado threat is never going to be huge in Maine, but I think it's fairly decent with the setup tomorrow. So we're going to have to keep an eye on southern Maine and New Hampshire. This is the Storm Prediction Center's risk zone. I would argue that it's a little bit far south, and given our history and when we develop storms that can rotate and spawn tornadoes, a lot of times those happen right around Sebago Lake. So if we're up to me, and it's not because it's a government product, but I would include north of Sebago Lake to about Freiburg and then back down. And I would also include the immediate coastline over York County because I see no reason the coast couldn't see a storm capable of producing a tornado. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll let you know if there's anything you need to worry about directly. That front is still around overnight Saturday and Sunday, and through a good part of the day on Sunday, it's still showery and rainy along the coast. And so I had to change it from morning showers on Sunday to showers lingering, implying that it's going to be there a bit longer. Notice inland, our forecast just is partly sunny or partly cloudy on Sunday. I think if you're in the mountains or in the foothills, it's dry on Sunday, but the coast, we get stuck with that front. Back to the weather that Brian so desires. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right around 70. Next week, other than an isolated shower on Thursday, is probably dry through the week and into next weekend.
Another stretch.
Yep.
All right, Keith, thank you.